What's up, y'all? Reggie here, the fitness tutor. Let's do a video about fear of going to the gym intimidation, confidence, etc., etc. I had a friend made a post not too long ago, earlier today, if I'm not mistaken, about asking advice about going to the gym and getting over these feelings, etc., etc. And I thought I'd do a video about it. And to start off, again, all fear and negativity is rooted in, all negativity is rooted in fear, and in specifically fear of the unknown / death, because death is the ultimate fear of the unknown. And death and mortality, you have this internal clock ticking. So anxiety comes from that. Like you're running out of time. In the back of your head, there's only so much time. There's only so much time in a day. There's only so much time, and that is, because think about it, if you were immortal, what would be negative to you? So this is part of this is just the basic of the human brain and the ego, just the basic underlying ego, not the bad idea of ego, but this is your individuality, putting limitations around things, because that's just what the ego does. So it's trying to feel like it's protecting you from something, right? And it's fear of the unknown, right? Like all fears. And all those things lead to anger and all those other things, right? That Star Wars reminded us of. But so you need to do something to find out what's on the other side. You want to lean in, right? And as the saying goes, the things that make you uncomfortable, are the things that will be rewarding, or something along those lines, right? Like when you're trying to reach a new level in life or your career or whatever else, you're going to have to go through something uncomfortable. And you're learning what's on the other side of that uncomfortableness, that fear. And once you start learning more about it, it no longer is a fear to you. And now you can benefit from what's on the other side. It's like Pan's Labyrinth or whatever. It's a riddle. It's gatekeeping. It's just a way of, it's one of those things in life. It's like a filter to your experience as to what you can and can't experience based on your will and desire. And when it comes to this, as opposed to a lot of fears, sometimes on the other side of that is most certainly a very high chance of death. You know what I'm saying? So this is what, and again, all this stuff is rooted in the fear of death and the unknown of death. So this unknown, to a lot of people, feels, just as crippling or whatnot. But I can promise you, there's generally nothing but good on the other side of this fear. And it's just, as the saying goes, future events appearing real. And it's a fixation on this unknown possibility. And, I've never gone to the gym in all the years of my life, which are 47 right now. And I've been in the gym since middle school. But once I got to high school, I've been in the gym, I don't know how many times. It's like I lived in the gym, working out or working for gyms ever since. Or training other people in gyms. So, and I'll never say never, but I just don't recall ever seeing anybody negatively judging someone else for being in the gym. And this is a very common meme and understanding in the health and fitness industry now. And we get this one right every time. Some stuff we don't get right? Insulin theory, calories, keto. But this one we get right every time. And we do memes and we do posts and comments about it. And that is, if you are a person who's making fun of someone for being in the gym, then you're all the names in the book that we can throw at you. But we can just go with fool and clown or whatever right now, right? Because this is a person who's trying to help themselves, right? And doing the obvious thing that so many people are having trouble doing, and this person has probably crossed who knows how many barriers to get to the gym. So that's just like, you don't do that, right? There's almost no higher form of disrespect for us folks who are like, you know, serious, you know, health enthusiasts and trainers and people that are, you know, trying to lift people up and get people to work out and whatever else. Bloggers, vloggers, trainers, et cetera, et cetera. We just don't tolerate that. But think about it. If you came across a person and it was obvious that they were judging you negatively or making fun or whatever else, and maybe it was the worst case scenario, some young punk, or heck, you know how it is with women. It could be a woman, and you see her looking at you, laughing or whatever else. Might be with a group of friends, and you can tell they're talking about you. Well, they're all fools and idiots, and they're advertising it, and they're letting you know 100% that they are a fool, at least in this regard right now. So why would it bother you what fools think? Because you come across them all the time in your life, right? And you're not concerned about them in any other capacity, I'm sure. So why be concerned about them when it comes to this? Just because it's a little bit closer and up front and personal, they're still advertising like, I think 2 + 2 = 5. That's literally what they're saying to you. That's how stupid they are. So you know that people like this also have other issues in their life. They're secretly miserable, et cetera, et cetera. And you really just got to feel sorry for them. So you just keep doing your work, and that's the worst case scenario. But I've never really seen that. And again, the only negative judgment that I really have seen is judgment of people's behavior in the gym, right? Being loud, obnoxious, not racking your weights, you know, you name it. We got plenty of judgment for certain behaviors, but not for looks, not for looking a little bit funny while you're doing exercise because you don't know what you're doing. And nobody cares about this stuff. I promise you, nobody cares except you. And you just have to realize this. And the more you go, the more time, I can almost promise anybody, the more time you're going to see and you're going to understand that this is the case. And all along you had nothing to fear. And you've just basically been like so many other things in life, including myself and a couple of things that I'm thinking about and working on and thinking about doing, business-wise, et cetera, et cetera. You're holding yourself back with your fear. And, you know, it's like I said in my video about karma, you will continue to experience certain things related to that because this is where you choose to be at, and this is how you judge yourself. And just like in my video about karma, it's a matter of education. So you have to be willing to do something to educate yourself. And asking trainers, asking on Facebook, et cetera, these things are part of that. And for a lot of people, that's all it takes. But, you know, action is the creation. You have to create. You, everybody else can give you different things to think about in your mind and believe. Then you have to go create. And then you experience what you create. Then you're going to learn, and it's going to affect the next belief, creation, experience, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have a different level of understanding, and now you can start breaking what most people would call karmic ties when it comes to whatever. This is the case with everything. But most people don't think about karma when it comes to the gym, but again, people have gone through this situation ad nauseum. We see it and hear about these cases all the time when you spend as much time in groups and training and in gyms, et cetera, et cetera. And the next thing you know, a person will go from being afraid to go to the gym to changing their whole life. And you have all stops in between. You know, some people, it's just like, hey, I'm comfortable going to the gym now. I'm working out more, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it doesn't have to be some grand slam home run. But it's like this in everything in life. And you just have to come to a moment where you're ready to get to the other side. You have to lean in, as the old saying goes. You have to lean into that fear. And when it comes to this, I promise you, it's really not much on the other side of this, except you realizing that it was all an illusion for the most part, and it's just, from this, it's nothing but success. I promise you. Or if you stay around me, I mean, I'm an inbox away, and if you can't understand how to look at or analyze something to where you can see the silver lining, when it comes to this stuff, please inbox me, because I can promise you there's nothing but good on the other side of getting more active and taking, initiative to be in the gym, be working out on a consistent basis, and being more cognizant of your eating, et cetera, et cetera. So don't let fear hold you back from that. I didn't mean for this to get 11 freaking minutes, but oh well. That's one of my fears. People will negatively judge me for always being long-winded, et cetera, right? And you don't know, like literally, look, if y'all knew how many videos I've recorded and never put up or go back and erase, et cetera, so I go through the same thing. Like, I'm talking ridiculous amounts of videos that I've done. And I'm always fearful of how I'm going to be perceived. If I left this off, how was that video? Is it too long? Blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, screw it. Whatever. I'm putting this one up. I'm putting this one up when I go into the gym. Unedited. Peace, love, and light. See y'all later.